Okay. Good morning. I don't have anyone joining me at the moment, but it is a few minutes after 9 a.m. now, so I'm going to make a start because we are recording the session anyway. So I'll make a start recording it, and people hopefully will be able to catch up later. So this morning we're looking at organising writing for different purposes using appropriate format and structure. So our aims and outcomes this morning. By the end of the session, students must be able to state what clear, concise and precise writing is, know the different formats for different document types, plan their writing, proofread their work, and you should be able to try and use clear, concise and precise writing, know how much detail to use, know typical lengths of certain documents, and you could be able to employ all of the above to achieve high quality of clarity and format. In the test, you would be assessed on your ability to communicate information, ideas and opinions clearly, coherently and effectively, and write text of an appropriate level of detail and of appropriate length to meet the needs of purpose and audience. So what do you need to know for your test? In the level 2 assessment, you'll need to organise your writing correctly according to the purpose of the text that you are asked to write. So in our reading sessions, we have spoken quite a lot about the purpose of a text, what the writer's aims were, and that the relationship between that and the audience. And it's the same thinking when you are writing a text. What's the purpose of what you are writing? Who is your audience? So we know which textual features are used in which text types, but what do they look like? And that's what we're going to focus on today. So we're going to look at different types of documents. We'll look at the features and decide whether it is a letter, an email, a review, a manual or a set of instructions, a report, an article or an advert. So if you have a look at this visual, which shows us the features that are included in one of these text types: letter, email, review, manual, report, article or advert. So have a look at those features and think about what type of written document this is. So this fits the template of a manual or a set of instructions such as a recipe, which requires a list. So for example, the ingredients, it would be in a recipe. And step-by-step guide. We'd also have, of course, at the top of the text, the title. And I just want to show you an example of this. So this is an example of a recipe. We've got the title at the top. We've got our bullet pointed list of required elements in the case of a recipe, ingredients, and then we've got our step-by-step instructions. So again, I want you to have a look at the elements that are shown here in the visual and decide what type of document this is. Is it a letter, email, review, manual, report, article, or advert? So this fits the template of a letter. We've got the address of the sender, the addressee, the addressee and the receiver, the date, salutation, sign off at the end. In some letters, more formal letters, you will find a letter topic often as well, like a title to the letter. So let's have a look at an example of a letter. Okay, so see the elements here. We've got the sender's address, the addressee, we've got some contact details there as well, date, title to the letter, and here's the main body of the letter, and then at the end we've got the sign off. This letter appears to be a general letter, perhaps one that's posted through every door on a street or in an area. It doesn't have a dear. Usually we should have the salutation. Okay, so dear to, and who the letter is for. But that's the only element missing there. What type of document is this? So have a look at the elements in the visual and decide which type of document it is. So this time we have a report. Excuse me. The elements that we have, it could be an article, but the rigid structure, the rigid structure here is that of a report or an essay. So let's have a look at an example of that. So here you can see the report with those elements. We've got the title, we've got supplementary information here, a subheading, we've got 2 paragraphs and a concluding paragraph. Now, the 2 paragraphs in the middle, that's not a strict rule, of course. There could be any number of paragraphs contained within the report, but it's just an example that, you know, we'd have multiple paragraphs. So again, have a look at the visual to see the features and then decide which type of text this is. Letter, email, review, manual, report, article, or advert. So this template is an advert or a notice. The large headline and unusual text position are used, those features are used to engage readers, to catch people's eye. And then sidebars are also used to give additional information that may be needed. So again, let's have a look at an example of that. So we've got an advert here, as you can see. And we've got, you can see the large heading, Bride Valley and Beyond. And there's some text underneath that tells us a little bit about what the advert is referring to. We've got side bar here as well, and this details the time, the date, and the location. So the Arts Centre. Okay, we've also got at the bottom some contact information to buy tickets, and we've got an image as well. It won't always feature an image, but that could be an additional way to engage readers, to catch people's eye. Okay. What type of document is this? So have a look for a moment, and then we'll have a look at an example. Okay. So these features fit the template of a review. Under the title heading, we've got information about what is being reviewed. If you were looking at a review, for example, of a film or something else, on a website, it may be more informal looking and shorter. So the elements might be slightly different, but you should still be able to recognise that as a review. So let's have a look at an example again. So this is a review by an academic review about healthcare, and we can see there that we've got the title, and there's some supplementary information here. It's got a subheading overview, and we've also got subheadings throughout and a number of paragraphs. And we finish here, there's a concluding paragraph. So you can see there examples of those elements included in a report. Included in a review. Reviews, this is an academic review, but reviews could also be reviews of household items, such as the Which reviews, if you look at the Which website before you buy things, or a film, TV programme, and so on. Entertainment often has reviews, theatre, and so on. So there's different types of reviews, but they will include some or all of those elements. So we've got elements here of a text type, but they're all jumbled up. So I want you to have a look at the screen, and perhaps if you've got a notebook there with you, you can just make a note of the order that these should come in so that the text follows the correct format. So just have a look at that for a moment. Okay, this is what it should look like. Okay, so it's a letter, and we've got the address on the right of the sender, the address on the left of the addressee where the letter's going, a title as well, and a sign-off. Okay. Again, you need to have a look at these elements, think about what text type it is, and then think about the correct order. Okay, so there you can see it's a review. So you can see the elements there. So have a look now at these elements, and again, think about the correct order. Okay, so this is a recipe, of course, or what we call a manual or instructions, and that is the correct format. So again, have a look, think about the order that this should go into. So now we'll have a look at what this should look like. Okay, so there you can see the elements have been put into the correct order. Okay, so that's the end of today's session. There are homework activities on Moodle, so have a look at those. As I always say to you, have a go at the questions first before you look at the answers. When you look at the answers, use those to support yourself in looking at particularly the ones where you're unsure. If you have problems with Moodle, you can contact the office about that and ask them for some support. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good week, and I will speak to you next weekend. Bye.